Hey guys, just a quick update. I was actually working on a different video. Uh, Not the best editing, so some things just ain't working out. So for today, I've got you kind of the second part from last week that was cut out by accident. The show was actually supposed to be a little bit longer last week, but it was cut somehow. I have the footage. I have it recovered. So you're just going to hear some news that was cut from last week that we didn't talk about, but we actually did cover, as well as we kind of just talk about handheld gaming, uh, just so you guys kind of get to know us and know what we've played, which handhelds we had. Kind of seemed like I'm a spoiled bitch, and I had all of them pretty much. Uh, yeah, so just tune in and keep watching, and you'll see what we've got here.
I did.
Okay, what's up?
Um, that Xbox banned somebody for doing something that Xbox is allowed to do anyway, but it just happened to be for a nudie part on Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh wow,
Yeah, the he got banned for a year because he recorded um one of the sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3
that is very odd. He got banned for
Yeah,
years for just recording a scene that's in the game.
a year.
Huh?
So here, let
That
me
is
actually let me pull it up real quick.
that
Yeah,
is quite interesting.
yeah. It's kind of annoying, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine just enjoying a game and getting a banned. Yeah,
They were flagged by the system as infractions, and that's how Xbox caught it. So they paid attention to what he was recording, obviously because they do. Um, they When you screen record something, it automatically up loads it up to the Microsoft servers, and
yeah,
that's how it got caught. That's how it got caught.
yeah. Well, that's
And so there's a quote here that says, "I recorded 3 clips last night of some naked camp time fun, and each clip counted as a different infraction and got my account banned for a year." And developer Larian Studio says it's looking into the situation with the director of publishing. His name is Michael Dowse, calling the band an annoying and uncool. End quote.
yeah.
So yeah, no, it looks like everyone's pretty fucking annoyed,
Yeah, I mean, as weird as it
as
may
they should
be
be.
to record a sex scene on a video game, is it's 2024. It's kind of
Yeah,
all over the place. We've known about that weird stuff in that game for quite a while. So I mean, you can literally there's like a druid that turns into a bear and fucks you. So
Like, yeah, like
yeah,
if you can customize your dick size in that game, this should not be an issue.
yeah,
Like, come on.
yeah, that's something they should have known about and looked into. All right, yep,
But
well,
that's also what happens when I forget what Microsoft is doing recently when it comes to a lot of their screenshots, and there's like I keep getting updates and like notifications about something about it's going to erase a lot of my screenshots if they're not saved a certain way
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
But this takes it to a different level. It's like, come on, guys, like it's his fucking gameplay, bro. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to start banning rated M games now on Xbox? Is it going to be just a child-friendly console?
that's pretty
if
tough.
that's the case, I'm dropping it.
I'll
If
drop it
that
like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Oh, well, I mean, you can't really do that when you just bought Call of Duty. Uh,
Exactly. That's
I mean,
so.
but they'll be like, hey, be careful in the chats though, because you can get banned for how you speak on the chats.
Yeah, which is also silly because if that's the case, we're all fucked.
you guys are. I'm playing on PC, bro.
I guess that's fair.
Oh yeah. Anything else, fellas?
Let's see. So there was something I stumbled upon, and it's actually really cool considering it's a guy who made Fallout, Kane something or something Kane, and then it was somebody who's working on Outer Worlds 2 who fixed an issue the Kane was having on Fallout. That there is something that he was able to fix that he's like, oh sweet, you did that. So now there'll be a feature in Outer Worlds 2 that kind of solves the whole issues Fallout was having with something. They didn't give any information on it, but since um 90s something when the first Fallout came out, it's now been fixed. I don't know what it is. They didn't give any
What?
information on it.
It's been in the
Yeah.
game since 1990.
No, no, no. So,
Oh.
well, yeah. So there's an issue that the creator of Fallout was having. He couldn't fix something. He's not telling us what it is, but ever since Fallout 1 came out in the 90s, that's still been a continuous problem for the Fallout franchise. Well, there was a dev working on Outer Worlds 2 who fixed it. And he was like, oh, sweet, you fixed it. But he's not telling us what it is because it's crucial to the game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering what it is, if it's a feature, or it's interesting to kind of see what it is. So I'm excited for Outer Worlds 2 to come out now. So we can kind of get more information on what was actually fixed.
Hell yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah, if they're fixing issues, it's going to help make a brand new game be better. I had a lot of issues with Outer Worlds, the first game, so I ended up not playing it too much. But hey, if the second one's good, I'll probably be here to play it too. Yeah. Uh, Good for that guy for helping out his teammate. It's kind of what they need over there at Xbox right now, anyways. And when you have Obsidian and Bethesda all in one under one umbrella, I mean, come on, you need to make those guys work together more often. And
I would
could you
say so.
imagine how good those games would be?
yeah,
Like, imagine Obsidian teaming up with Bethesda to make Starfield.
I think they just need to combine under one studio, anyways, and really flesh out those IPs. Release Outer Worlds 2, and then everybody move over to the next Elder Scrolls game, and then everybody move over to the next Fallout game.
I mean, that'd be nice. So that way you're not having to wait 10 years for everything.
Yeah, I mean those excuse me. The dev team at Obsidian, to me, in my opinion, seems to know a little bit better about what they're doing over Bethesda. So
For Fall, yeah, because the Obsidian worked, because it was Black Isle Studios, I think, and then Obsidian, but they worked on Fallout 1 and 2, and then Tactics.
mm-hmm.
And then there's still some members that worked on those that helped out with Fallout New Vegas. So there's still some people there, maybe not so much now, but who have been working on the original Fallout at Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely think it would make it be beautiful.
All right. Well, we still got a few minutes. We're about 49 minutes in to the recording here, fellas. I think it's time we move over to our next part of the discussion and get that out of the way. As you guys can tell, we've been kind of doing things a little bit different. Today was a little bit heavier on news, so we had a little bit more of that. But we kind of want to do news and then a topic. The topic I gave the fellas last night was let's talk about handheld gaming. So I will kind of start off this discussion by saying that I've had the Game Boy Color, the Advance, the DS, a 3DS, The Switch, I will include that. Mobile games are included. PSP and PS Vita. So I've had quite of a round range of all that in gaming there. Dadalorian, go ahead and tell me which handheld consoles you have used.
I I had the original Game Boy
Okay, the big fat gray
and
motherfucker.
the big fat gray motherfucker, and better
Yeah.
yet, it was given to me in a carrying case that looked like a bigger Game Boy that
Oh,
you could
okay.
that you could put your Game Boy games in like these little clear cases and put them in there and just carry your Game Boy and all of your games. I
Yeah.
played the shit out of that.
Yeah. What
Um,
else did you have?
I had the SP, and then my son destroyed two 3D XLs, and then which I guess weren't mine, but I did mess with them for a little bit. But then obviously Nintendo Switch.
Right, right. Anything else?
That's it, bro. Like
Okay.
out of the ones I've personally owned, OG, SP, and then Switch, and the Switch is my wife's mainly, but yeah.
All right. And Tyler. Tell me which handheld consoles you play with, buddy.
I've had the Game Boy Colored and Game Boy Advanced. Those were the two handheld consoles that I've had.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm the only one here that's had any of the PlayStation portable consoles.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Okay.
was I wanted one. I wanted one so bad, but I remember my mom saying that's a rich person's console.
That's
You
so
have a
weird.
game. She goes, you have a Game Boy. Be happy. So I was like, okay.
That's kind of a fair answer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was like, but I was like, yeah, no, it was.
All right. So, yeah, I will. So, original Game Boy. What do you
Yes,
remember about that? What's the first thing that sticks out about playing those games for you?
fucking Tetris.
Of course, Tetris. Tetris has to be brought up in the conversation.
Tetris, bro. And the movie, I plan on watching it very soon, but from what I've seen, it's phenomenal.
Oh, that story is fucking insane.
Yeah. And so, and there was just a few other games on there that I played. Like there was a couple tank, there was a tank game on there.
Yeah.
Um, but I mainly, like I did a couple football and baseball games on there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of it was Tetris.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that
not a
was
bad
something
game
that
to
I
play. I
could.
mean, that's a pretty good starter. I mean,
It's simple, it's fun. It's like Tetris is not a bad game. For anyone that says that I don't like Tetris, okay, good for you. Like that that's
oh yeah. All right,
fun.
Tyler, tell me what you remember about the Game Boy Color.
um, so obviously Pokemon. Played it,
Duh. Yep.
loved it.
Which one?
I think Silver
Okay.
is one I played. Maybe another one, but I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have a Shrek video game where it was a fighter. That was absolutely fun.
Yep.
Loved it. Then you had it was essentially an army one where you play as a tank, a motorcycle, and something else, and you went and it was an army man game. It was a
Yeah.
little shooter. Um, Goodness, what else was there? Um, yeah, I think that's mainly. Oh, and Digimon. There was a Digimon fighter as well.
Oh yeah.
So I played that, and it was essentially the same thing for the advance as well. But the advance I didn't really play a whole lot of because at that point there was the 360 and PS2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember playing. Excuse me. a ton of Pokemon. There was a couple of Zelda games on there. Mario, of course. But I mean, for me, when it comes down to it, the core of the Game Boy Color for me was Pokemon.
Hmm.
Pokemon, everything. The Game Boy Advance.
I want
It
to
was
be.
that was kind of a little bit of a different twist for me because there were so many games on the Advance. Obviously, there was all the Pokemon that was there.
Yep.
Po- Pokemon on that console for me was fantastic for the Advance. You had the Leaf Green, you had Fire Red that were kind of remakes of the original. You had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is my favorite generation. One of them. And then you had a lot of sleepers out there that a lot of people don't know about. Golden Sun was fantastic. Minish Cap was the last Zelda game developed by a non Nintendo studio. It was developed by Capcom. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many choices out there. Metroid kind of have went off into a handheld as well after the original Metroid and Super Metroid. You had Zero Mission, and you had uh, I can't remember the name of it right now. I feel like an idiot. Yeah, there was another Metroid game on there that was absolutely fantastic. It was the fourth one. Uh, and then let's see here, the DS. Did you guys get to play any of that at all?
The DS.
Yeah.
It was never mine. Like, like I never actually got to play it. I always watched people on the bus or a relative.
Mm-hmm.
So never really got to have my hands on a DS until the 3DS XL for my son.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I mean, I had the DS as well. Tyler, did you have one?
I did not. My brother did, and I think there was a Tony Hawk game that he played.
Mm. That was a fun little
Believe.
handheld itself. I mean, you were able to play GBA games, and you were able to play the DS games as well. Uh, fucking a lot of fun games there. You had the remake of Super Mario 64 that was kind of a remake slash, I wouldn't say reboot. I mean, you started out as Yoshi, and you could play as Mario, Luigi, and Wario. Phantom Hourglass, one of my favorite Zelda games. Spirit Tracks, another one.
Mm.
A lot of fun stuff there. Metroid. I mean, all of your stuff that's normally going to be on a Nintendo console, it was there. And it
I
was a
played I
blast.
played Star Wars Lego. Did you guys play Star Wars Lego?
I only
No.
played that on console,
I
but
did. I played it on the SP
oh wow,
as well. Yeah,
what was
I
that
actually
like?
still have it. I mean, damn. That's that's the best way to explain it. It's episodes 1, 2, and 3. Uh, I mean, it was nowhere near as good as the console version, but um, for just traveling on the road or going to wrestling meets or basketball games or whatever, um, your goal was to just buy the next character so that you can go back and replay and get 100% on everything. So, I mean, it wasn't bad for its time. I don't know. I would have to go back and play it as an adult to give it a fair like judgment
Uh huh.
call on it, but I don't know. Like if you I have it if you want to borrow it and then you give it a shot and tell me what you think, but
Uh, I mean,
he's like I'm
no.
pass. Pass.
If I really feel like it, I'll emulate it. Cause I'm watching it right now. Uh,
Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? That's why I said damn.
well, I
Like
mean,
it's
like for the Game Boy Advance, though, for a game like that right now, it doesn't look terrible.
What's the S? Is the SP Advanced Game Boy Advance
Game Boy Advance.
SP?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. Yeah, it's a little whack. Uh, it's not perfect, but I mean, uh, you still kind of use the Force the same way. I don't know why Qui-Gon Jinn's glitching out right there, but he is. Uh, let's take a look at Tatooine here. The environments don't look that bad. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's Kashyyyk. There's Yoda walking around. He walks a lot faster in the GBA version. I can tell you that much. If you didn't know that. Ooh, he fight General Grievous. Let's look at that real quick. Because I want to see that. Yeah, that looks bad. Boss fights are a little whack.
Yeah. Like I said, playing on the and see what I loved about the SP was that it was just this tiny little brick that you could just it folds open,
Yeah, I
you know.
mean, the
But
best thing about it I've seen so far is that you can tell it's Lego, right?
that it's Lego.
And
Yeah.
the characters still have all the same like attacks and moves, so it translates very well, I think, over to a tiny portable console this fucking big. Yeah, I mean, I would have played it as a kid if I didn't have it on console. I wasn't one of those kids that wanted it on console and like mobile as well.
Right.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I never requested to get the Game Boy SP because I didn't know there was any other Game Boys out there outside of the original. But then I
Mhm.
started seeing people on the bus have different color versions for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And my younger brother was getting of age that he wanted to play the Game Boy a lot, and we'd bicker over it. And so by the time we got it, by by the time my youngest brother was born, we all three got a Game Boy SP. So I had the black one, my middle brother had the red one, and my youngest brother got like this like silverish, like light blue tinted one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, like an aqua color almost.
Aqua.
I don't know. Well, I know the
Yeah. And it was fun. It was fun for it did the job. It kept me busy. So
yeah. The 3DS, that was the next console in line. I know we jumped back to GBA, but whatever. That was kind of a cool bring up. We were able to look at that footage. Yeah.
yeah. So
The
sorry about that.
3DS. I got the 3DS specifically for one game, and that was Kingdom Hearts, Dream Drop Distance,
Uh,
the Ocarina of Time remake, and Star Fox 64 3D. That was the sole purpose of why I wanted those consoles. And Dream Drop Distance is a fantastic game. Anything Kingdom Hearts is fantastic. I'm going to say that
yes.
over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And if you
That's true,
disagree, you're wrong.
Exactly. You have no fair opinion if you say they're bad. Because you know what? You know what? I'm going to pull a loan
Hi, I'm
out
Ricky
right now. I'm going to pull a loan
I'm
out
Ricky
of
Bobby.
Reforged Gaming. If you don't like Kingdom Hearts, I don't care about you. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he basically was like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, right. Anyways, yeah, the 3DS. Your son had it.
You know, I bet his problem is that he never played Kingdom Hearts. Maybe that's why he's a dick.
Probably.
Like, come on.
Probably.
You're probably not far off, man. But yeah. Back on track here. Back to the other side of Sony. They had the PSP. And I got that for one game only as well. And that was Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. I remember I worked my ass off that summer just to save a bunch of money to actually buy that PSP, and then I was not able to afford any games. So I had to trade a bunch of stuff in. And I got Birth by Sleep. Eventually I ended up getting Daxter. The God of War games are fantastic on that console. If you can play those, emulate them, or play them on the PlayStation Plus Premium service, they're on there. I mean, the Ghost of Sparta story, featuring his little brother, or excuse me, was that a little brother or was it older brother?
It's a brother.
Yeah, either way, it's his brother Deimos. The kind of the story that goes along for that is the tattoo, the red tattoo that you see on Kratos was an actual birthmark on Deimos. And Zeus kills him because that was part of the prophecy that somebody that was marked that way was going to kill him. So he presumably takes the brother away. And, well, you know the rest of the story for Kratos there. Eventually, he gets that tattoo in honor of his brother, and then kills his family, and has the ashes engraved on his skin forever. He becomes the Ghost of Sparta. But the end of that game, he ends up finding some kind of retribution for that story. I don't want to give it away for anybody, but you meet his mother as well. So yeah. A little bit of a better backstory for Kratos. It has nothing to do with a lot of the bigger god stuff that you see in 2 and 3. And the PS Vita, I had one of those as well. I got one of those after I graduated high school. I was an adult working. Not a terrible handheld, but the potential was there, man. They just didn't have any first party software. There was software is what gave that system up. In the beginning, you had stuff like Uncharted. It had a really great game called Gravity Rush, and they had a cool, like, if the game was releasing on console and on the Vita, they had what was called cross buy. So, for example, the Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. You guys know Sly Cooper, correct?
Of course.
Did you guys ever play Thieves in Time?
I don't recollect.
Is that the third one?
It is the fourth one.
Fourth one.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay,
No, the one I played was PS2.
It was made from a different studio from I can't remember the name. Sucker Punch. It was made by Sanzaru Games, I think. Is who it was? Yeah, Sanzaru Games. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I mean, it was Sly Cooper. We hadn't had anything in a while, so I was pretty much taking anything at that point. And when you bought this game, you also bought it for the Vita as well, so you got both versions. And a lot of people, I think, forget that a lot of these things that you like to see, Sony started a lot of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
The cloud gaming that kind of started on the PS Vita.
Yeah.
You were able to connect your console to a Wi-Fi, or if you were like rich, you had the 3G cellular data that you could play your games from home on your console on this little screen. It was pretty wild. But I mean, other than that, man, that's like all it had going for it. There was just no gains for the Western market.
And that's really unfortunate because imagine where it'd be now if it did.
Yeah, I think if it would have been successful and they would have had the software to push it up and further in, I think we would see a completely different Sony than we do right now. But I mean, that's kind of one of the things I like about them is they are the ones that kind of test things out first. So when they step into this fully cloud market, they already have a lot of knowledge there. So I think that's going to be really good for the PlayStation Portal. Because I feel like there's going to be an update or a newer version of that is going to have the cloud-based services on there. Which is going to be cool. If you're that kind of a gamer.
It's just interesting to look forward to. Like,
it's cool shit.
We've been around for roughly 3 decades, and from how we remember starting gaming to what it is now, it's interesting being a part of that history and seeing it evolve.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, my final thoughts on the mobile market whatever. Dadalorian, go ahead and give yours.
Like mobile gaming.
Uh, Handheld, mobile gaming, it's all the same.
I mean, I really enjoyed the Game Boys. I love the Switch. I hate playing games on my phone.
Mhm.
I don't like doing it. Um, Overall, I think it's obviously got a market. A lot of people love the idea of carrying a console around in their pocket.
Yeah. All right, Wookie, how do you feel about it all, man?
I feel like it started off great, and they're able to make some good mobile games. But I feel like when modern game got with it, it became something that ruined itself.
Mm-hmm.
As far as gaming as a whole, obviously it's doing financially well, which is all good and well.
Microtransactions. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you're not wrong.
yeah, so I appreciate 100% what the Game Boys have done,
Yep.
what the handheld consoles have done. But when they made that over, when somebody decided to turn that into mobile gaming, into straight up, hey, you can play it for free, but there's a crap ton of microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's when gaming itself, I think, made horrible global headlines.
You're
EA Battlefront 2.
you're not wrong, man. The mobile division for cell phones is kind of what ruined that
And
part
that
of
is why
gaming
I
for
don't like,
online.
and that
Mm-hmm.
is the sole reason why I don't like playing games on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
I played a lot of Clash and Clans back in the day.
we did that
Uh,
on the iPad.
there's not much
Yeah.
left for me on that front. I really don't. I use my phone for like TikTok.
Yeah,
So
TikTok, phone call, like Facebook, Instagram, shit like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I I'm glad that Chewy elaborated a little bit on why we don't like mobile gaming, cell phone gaming, to be specific. And
mhm.
it's simply because it ruined the rest of gaming when it comes to money.
Yep.
I think it made EA go into a bad position as far as a poor standard of practice when they were doing great. Um, Unfortunately, just greedy people got in there, and now obviously Activision as well. It's just bad for gaming as a whole.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, man. You have my same feelings. I feel like we started off really good. Even the stuff that wasn't very popular, I think it was I think it was the Lynx, the Atari Lynx, I think is what it was called. And they had the Wonder Swan. They had all kinds of stuff back in the day. And then eventually it was kind of just the Game Boy and what else was moving on.
Yeah.
Sega had
Mm-hmm.
their Game Gear. I mean, being able to play Sonic on the go was cool, but I mean, it looked fucking terrible, so I don't know why anybody played it that way. But I mean, a really solid start, and then it all right as soon as that iPod Touch came out, man,
Yep.
and you had the iPhone, it just went downhill from there. I mean, you're not wrong. I hope that I think the Switch has done a little bit better for making that a little bit, uh normal. But I mean the Nintendo's different. Nintendo's always gonna be different.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean
Especially,
I didn't expect
uh,
that of them at all. But, hey.
well, I mean, what was it, Nintendo? Whenever the other gaming studios were making huge cuts and uh, everything else, they
Nintendo was like,
decided.
hey, we're going to pay people more.
Well, what they essentially, yeah, because they even cut the CEOs and the higher ups took massive pay cuts to keep everybody. I think this is when Nintendo was doing a little rough,
Mm-hmm.
and so they made the cuts for themselves and raised everyone else's pay, and they've skyrocketed since then.
Yeah, to make that a little bit more clear for people, that was Nintendo of Japan.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Nintendo of America. They don't do that shit here. But
No.
No. They say "fuck you" here.
yeah, they kind of have a different culture over there, obviously, and that was super awesome for those CEOs to kind of do that kind of thing, and be able to take care of the people. Because without those people, you ain't got nothing. And
Yeah.
you know, they made a bad decision when they went from the Wii to the Wii U, and I think the Wii U was a great console. It was just the same thing that it was with that Vita. They had no software. They had no third party backing. They could not get anything done for that console, and eventually, third party literally just stopped making shit for that console. I mean, what do you expect? Yeah. So
I expect you to subscribe, and if you don't, I don't give a fuck.
there you go. You know what that means? You better subscribe to my channel from here on out. Okay? Follow, give me a like, hit the bell, whatever those guys do. I don't know. I don't care. Just hey, come and have fun. That's all I care about.
Let's just have a good time.
Yeah, let's have a great time. Let's play some video
We're gonna
games.
change
Let's
it.
chill out.
We're gonna change it. We're gonna change how it works.
Yep. We are changing though. We are doing a little bit better with this stuff. As you can tell, we're not perfect. We're not where I see the channel being at, but we do stream on both Twitch and YouTube now at the same time. So whatever platform you prefer, we're available on both. And our scheduled streams are on Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I do quite a bit of pop-ups. So if you want to know that stuff, you can hit the subscribe button and you can hit the follow button. So you will get those notifications. But you do not have to. You do not have to. You don't owe me anything. I'm just glad that who is here, you are here. And if you do not like Kingdom Hearts, I will find you and I will murder you in your sleep.
That's right.
I mean, it's just plain and simple.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Wink.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I just tried to wink with my left eye.
That's fucking
If you guys didn't know already, the way I talk is kind of fucked up. I've had Bell's palsy twice. And so that's why it kind of looks like
wasn't enough.
Yeah, the first time wasn't enough. It makes me look like Sylvester Stallone a little bit, and I can't. It's really tough.
Gotten better. It's gotten a lot better.
It's really tough to do stuff, but yeah, I have problems eating like fucking spaghetti and shit. I mean, I gotta cut the noodles up and small up. It's stupid. All right. Thank you all for coming up. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time.
That's right. Next time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.